Okay, let's talk about Kampong Chai Chee, right? What are your strongest memories of Kampong Chai Chee?
One thing, you know, wine was very expensive those days, right? Wine, selling of wine.
Mm.
So a lot of people would illegally process their wine in the kampong. So these people, the illegal wine distiller, would go to a deserted patch among the lalangs to set up a wine distillery in the lalangs. And then every day we would go and see and their equipment, see whether everything is okay, not ransacked by wild dogs or animals. So every day he would visit and observe and then take the already those wine ready for sale. Then he will smuggle it out and then to those people who wanted to drink this illegal wine, right? And then led to, of course, being kampong folks, they would rarely even report this sort of thing to the authority. But of course, some whistleblower, the customs would come, some whistleblower, like I don't know who. I mean, some busybody. It leads to the custom people. So the custom people would come with their vans and then they raided the place, destroy the whole setup, and went off. Of course, wine dealer, the wine distiller was not there, not caught. And when these fellows went off, the next day, we went to another patch and set up again, this sort of thing. You go on and on repeatedly. So the custom people will never catch one of them.
Yeah, never give up, right?
Never give up. And then also in the market, I saw this man.
Yeah.
Of course, one of the sellers, one of the sellers selling noodles, he would carry a big bag, a big rattan bag of cigarettes. These cigarettes are not tax. I mean, not tax, not paid tax type of cigarette. I mean, already smuggled in. He would put at one place nearby. And then those people who knew what it was, immediately they just fork out certain sum of money, throw into the bag and take away the packets. I mean, and then of course the custom come and ask, who is this? Nobody owns up. And then the custom will confiscate the whole bag of not tax paid cigarettes. So these are the two things.
So these are branded, these are actually imported cigarettes.
These are smuggled in cigarettes. Smuggled in because tax not paid. Smuggled in cigarettes.
Right.
And then also another one is gangsterism. I was in the market and then this group of young people saw a hawker was making good business, and then you whisper to each other, hey, go and get some. Then they will nod their head and then this will go and approach them for extortion money, paid up $24. So this hawker understood, if you don't pay up, sure the stall will get smashed. Pay him up and go away. And this is how they survive. Those unemployed survive in this way.
Did your mother ever have problem with them? Because she sold vegetables, right?
We in the market, there's an association called the Market Retailers Association. So if any such thing, you report to the market retailers. Of course, in the Market Retailers Association, the chairman is also one of the of these secret society head lah. We don't know. Those provision shop owners,
Yeah.
One of them is definitely the secret society head. We do not know them. Actually, they are. And then the kampong chief as well. Whenever there's anything to settle, you go to the kampong chief and he will settle everything peacefully for you. That is it is a quarrel among neighbors or what. You go to the kampong chief. The kampong chief say one word only, all settled. No need to involve the police.
So
that's one thing good.
There was actually a kampong headman.
Yes, the kampong headman.
Who is he? Do you remember?
I cannot remember, but we're quite young. Yes, I cannot recall now, but I know the name, but I cannot recall now. I forgot. It's been so many.
Was
was
he a businessman?
And of course, he is a shop owner.
Shop owner, okay.
Shop owner. So whenever there's anything to settle, you can see him. And then also gangsterism, I know of one man, right? Might not me, my father. Anything you go to him. And then my father will introduce me. And then his son is a really chief, gangster chief. And then when we walk along the market, you see this man and you say hello to him, wave with him. If he's happy, wave back. If not happy, it's okay. When his henchmen see us, he say, hey, this man is our kampung food. Don't touch him. There was once I was teaching in Pingy School. A teacher, I don't know how offended one of the pupils' parent or whatever, brother, I do not know. Dare not get out of the school. He said, yo, why I cannot dare not go to school? If I go out of school, I die. Get out of the kampung. Because my Pingy school was quite deep in the kampung. So I was teaching there also. So this colleague of mine was so scared. Most likely he offended one of them. So he said, okay, never mind, don't worry. I put him on my motorbike and then took him out by the back door through the kaki bukit. Inside the kampung and out to Paya Lebar. So those are the days.
Did you ever have problem with the gangsters? Did they come to
I'm not saying problem with gangsters. Of course, we know them. They would say, hey, yo, take me to this place. Now, of course, you are kampung folk, we are kampung folk, okay. And then I took him to Kampung Yunus. Wow, when I lighted, I saw him. There was a parang at his back,
Wow, so serious.
Yeah, so this is how we, in the kampung, we work.
Yeah.
We don't offend him, of course. This sort of thing is none of your business. Why should you know this sort of thing? And then later on, I also know of a relative who is also one of the chief. Later on, when I wrote this book, Kampong Chai Chee, I introduced him. He would tell me who were the chief from Chai Chee right until Changi Point and which gang they were in. He told me everything. And then we asked him, why do you do all this? Hey, for survival, man. Without this, we can't live. And then what destroyed them was, he said, the most terrifying type was the government introduction of Section 55 of the government, Section 55. He said, that was the most terrible. You see, if once caught, you are done. Nobody, the parents, anybody couldn't visit him. And you do not know when you are going to get released. That was the one that broke the gang up. The activities that stopped drastically.
Yeah, because they can be detained, right?
Yeah, without trial. And for how many years, we don't know. So that was the one. He is the most terrifying part, he said, was the Section 55. So in living in a kampung, of course, you got to play politics around here and there.
Yeah.
In the event of any deaths, funerals, for example, people would chip in, go in and visited this person. Even you don't know, even kampung folks, just could chip in a few dollars as a Pek Kim, Pai Ching, it's okay. They recognize you, saw your face, they say, hey, this man is related to our kampung area, So you face your face, you show your face, they know you already, Wedding, wedding in the kampung is a very important affair. They rented generator and put lights leading to the house, and then the tables all put in the mud area. Of course, it's not cemented in the area where it's lopsided and all that, where food was served and all that. So we all had good time eating. So those were the days. in the open air, of course.
Yeah, so there was a lot of community spirit in the kampong.
Yeah, of course, a lot of community spirit. And if there's anything, road, the laterite road or whichever pathway has got destroyed by rainwater, they will voluntarily go and repair. And then
how about the floods? Just now you mentioned there are sometimes floods, right? Did the village come together to protect?
Vivid floods. And now we live in the low lying of doesn't involve much people who are living in the higher area. So my brother would carry piggyback my grandmother to a neighbor who's living higher on the higher ground, right, to rest there until the flood subside. Then of course, during the flood, it's terrible. The flood water will bring down dead pigs and dead animals, rats and insects. Caterpillar as well as a centipede flowing into the house, and then our furniture we flooded. You know what happened? At the lower rung of the cupboard, we took the things out from the lower rung and put on the top of the cupboard. Then as the flood went higher, the whole cupboard tumbled out. Become buoyant. The whole thing tumbled out. All the things get destroyed by the flood water. Then the whole area was very dirty, and they're going to take hours and hours of cleaning, washing. And planks, of course, like plywood, you have to replace that. Plywood cannot withstand flood water.
Just now you mentioned the customs, the authority. What was the relationship, right, between the villagers and the authorities in those days?
And whenever you see these people coming, they're avoid. Say, move away. They never like to offend them or face them. They just move away.
Yeah.
They don't want them to interview. So.
Did the police ever come in?
Yeah, police are very seldom.
Yeah.
Very seldom also. If they have, the people will just move away and they refuse to cooperate with them.
No cooperation.
No cooperation.
So later on, right, I guess the relationship improved, right? Later on, the MP would come and all that.
MP is also their Barisan Socialist.
Okay. Who was the MP?
Po Berliak, also Po Berliak. Po Ber, Berliak, Po Berliak. Barisan Socialist.
I see. So it was quite left wing in those days, yeah?
Yes, very. Not say quite, very.
Very. Did the Barisan have like a branch in Chai Chee?
Yes, of course.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And during at that time, there was an examination.
Yes.
They encouraged the student boycott.
Okay.
And so they put up black and white lettering sign across the school, boycott the school exam in the Pingi High School.
So after the Barisan, they were cracked down, then the PAP would win the elections, right?
Yeah, PAP came.
Do you want to talk about when you all moved out?
That time, before we moved out, the resettlement officer from the HDB came and then took down a record. What you have, how many square foot of hardcore cemented area you have, because cemented area, they are to be compensated, is it? And then how many pigsties, how many chickens, and how many trees, coconut, papaya, whatever, how many plots of vegetables you have, they will record everything down. All right. The whole kampong all are involved. And how many pigs and so on, they'll all be counted. This HDB officer will come. There was very funny stories that was not told until later on when I attended one of the dinners. One of the pig farmers, he said, you know what happened? When the officer came, they noted how many pigs, so they wrote down. And then in the middle of the night, we transferred all these pigs to another farm, and put down there. And then the next day when the officer went to the other farm, one officer said, hey, this pig look familiar. The farmer immediately said, Pig is pig. Where is there the differences? No differences. So that's how it's cheap. And of course, when we heard that the government is coming, I mean, the HDB officer is coming to measure the cemented plot, immediately the next day, so many pieces of area was cemented. Immediate 24 hours. Within 24 hours, so many areas is cemented for the officer to measure and record.
Yeah.
And then it was told that one boat lily plant is 2.5 cents to be compensated. 2.5 cents. Then I thought, 2.5 cents for one boat lily plant. So I went back to my farm. I asked my sibling, whatever, hey, plant as many as possible. We have so many of these in the nursery. Well, we planted so many. The officer came. Wow, boat lily. We cannot count by plants, We count by plots. One plot, $30. That's smart. It count by plants. There's so many, I mean, close to 1,000, and you're going to compensate a lot. He said by plots.
Yeah, but I mean, I understand, all this practice, right? Because people's ultimately is their livelihood, and they are going to likely lose their livelihood, right, when they move.
Yeah, that's right. And that leads to Bedok Industrial Estate. Lee Kuan Yew is very smart. Okay, later when we talk about Rollei.
Do you know
Any other?
how much compensation you all got?
Yes. We were offered a piece of land at Lim Chu Kang. But it's so far away, and then the piece of land was on top of the hill.
Right.
Where to get water, most important. And then the land is not fertile, and then red, laterite soil. Then how to grow? Ours is the lowland, with a lot of fertile soil there. So we gave up the idea of moving out to Lim Chu Kang.
Right.
And then my father was given a compensation, a free house, 3-room flat, free, given to them in compensate for their land to give up the farming. So we all moved to the flat. At that time, I was working already. My sister all would work at the Rollei and so on for living. And
where was the flat?
At Kampong Chai Chee also, block 40.
Okay. So you all moved back there, right? Okay. So this is 1978, right?
1970. Okay. Yeah, around it. Yeah.
Do you mind to wait a while? Let me find a later map, right, which shows maybe the changes.
Yes.
Is this where the estate is?
No. Pen Island Expressway. No. Further, can you move? Where Senang Sata, quite near to Sata, Upper Changi Road Estate. Yes, correct. This is the area. And then the market, yes. This is the one. Food center, yes. This is the one.
Right.
So, when we were moved out, we stayed at Block 40. Here didn't show Block 40 in this map also, but didn't show Block 40.
No, it doesn't show the blocks. Roughly where is Block 40?
Opposite mosque. Opposite the mosque.
Opposite
the Angsa Mosque. Bedok,
around here?
Chai Chee, Bedok Mosque, the mosque there at the junction.
At the junction. Okay.
At the junction, down.
Okay.
At the junction here, Block 40.
Okay.
Angsa Mosque.
So did you all have to move out somewhere else first before they were building the house?
No, we moved direct to the flats.
Oh, the flats were already ready?
Already up already.
Okay.
They are ready for us, yeah.
I see. Okay, I just want to ask you, how did your family feel about having to leave the farm?
So far, we accepted it quite okay because my mother had to give up the vegetable stall at the old open air Chai Chee market and then move over to the food center in this map here.
Yes, in the center here.
A stall there. So there's not much of a loss in earning because from there we get the vegetables from Geylang wholesale
I see.
and then brought over to this area to sell. So we of course change our strategy of getting vegetable to sell. Instead of getting from the farm, we get from the wholesaler from Geylang. So we are busy, go to Geylang, gather vegetables, and brought over to the new market to sell. So instead of farming. And then I was already teaching, and my sisters all had work in the Rollei factory. My in-laws and sisters had worked in the Rollei factory. So my elder sister was the dressmaker, not a dressmaker, she sews patterns, flower patterns for pillowcases and all that. He was an embroiderer, I should say, embroiderer. Yeah. So we all didn't quite lose much.
So were you quite happy to move to HDB?
I should say yes, because at that low-lying area, we had suffered from being flood and also, a lot of difficulties. When I started teaching, and it's not convenient also for me to from the kampong go to school to teach.
Right. Was there also some sadness though, like you have to leave this place?
Not so much because
not so much.
We are economically quite okay.
Okay. So just now, Mr. Yeo, you were saying you were quite happy to move out, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the difference, right, for you, for your family, of living in a kampong and living in a HDB flat?
Living in a kampong is free everything. For example, parking free, moving around is quite easy, not need to obey traffic rules and whatever, because in the kampong there's no traffic lights, there's no traffic junction, and no stopping area, no white line, yellow line, whatever. Very free. Wherever in the park, you park. Wherever you go, you just go. Not to bother about a private area. No need bother about many things. So whenever you feel like parking, you just park, and then nobody wants.
Right.
And living in a kampong, in a HDB flat, very restricted. Everything you pay the rule to go according to rules. For example, parking. And then whenever you do something, you got to be very careful. For example, throwing things and all that, littering and all that. You will get wiped in the kampong, littering, whatever. There is nothing. Nobody will find you.
What about your mother, right? I mean, the family no longer was doing farming. That kind of change in the way of life.
For my mother, not so much, because she was selling in the market already, Chai Chee market. So the changes is in the location, doing business from the open air market. Of course, open air market is subject to climatic conditions, rain, sun, this other in the open air. But when over to the HDB market, you need not worry about the weather. You see, one thing is you need to go to the wholesaler to get whatever vegetables for her to sell. We help to get her for her to sell. She will personally also to go and choose, to go and get whatever goods she wants to sell in the market.
So let's talk about Rollei and the industries in the area. Go ahead.
The government is actually very efficient when it comes to getting jobs for these resettlers. So all over Singapore, whenever they start to resettle a kampong, whatever, they will start the industrial estate first. The government go all over the world to get people to come here to invest, and then the government will pinpoint where you can build your factories or stuff, your factories. In Singapore, in the Chai Chee, the startup attracted Panasonic, attracted NMB bearings, all right, the Rollei factories, and many other factories to set up in Chai Chee to get the resettlers to have a work to do to supplement their family income. So there's a very wise move by the government. To resettle people, you have to get, works for them to do. Where do they get the money to pay for a rental and flats?
Yeah, I mean, that was the aim of the government when they launched the industrialization program, right? A lot of people were underemployed or not employed. And so the aim was to get them into proper jobs by
So
inviting.
my friends, two of them went to Rollei to work.
What did they do?
They fix up. Each was given a job to do certain parts, fix up parts for a camera. And next to the Rollei is the Bata battery factory.
Vata is from which country?
Germany.
Also German. Okay.
Germany. BARTA.
So it's not in the Rollei buildings. It's a separate factory.
It's adjacent to the product.
Yeah, I believe from Wikipedia that Rollei and the Chai Chee Industrial Estate was the first industrial estate in the eastern part of Singapore.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, Rollei, we had a previous episode on Rollei by one of the EDB officers in Germany. Rollei is one of the famous Western manufacturers that came to Singapore in the 1970s. Was there for about 12 years before it closed down in 1980-81. But play a very important role in Singapore's industrialization to help train a lot of local technicians and engineers, even afterwards in the 1980s, paving the way for the disc making industry, right? So Mr. Yeo, do you have any personal memories of Rollei?
Yeah. Besides my sisters working there, of course, we as outsiders, we just cannot venture into it. Because from the outside, we can see it's a very impressive building with a big word Rollei on the top of the building. And then, of course, how I wish I could get cameras from there. But later on, I really got a lot of cameras. Rollei not only make Rollei flags and Rollei, they also make for Voigtlander. Voigtlander is one of the brands made by Rollei. After I show you some Voigtlander camera. And not only that, flashes also. Camera flash.
Mr. Yeo, would you like to show the cameras?
Okay. I collected all types of Rollei cameras. Different types, made in Germany as well as made in Singapore.
Okay.
But I'm going to show you made in Singapore cameras. This is when there is a camera, it shows made in Singapore. Can you see? Voigtlander, can you see, right? Can see? Yeah, better. Voigtlander.
Yeah.
This model is VF135.
Yeah, okay.
Different models,
Yeah.
And this model is VF101. VF101.
Okay. I never heard of this one.
And then there are this SLR, single lens reflex, Rolleiflex. The made in Singapore sign is at the bottom.
It's okay. So we can't see. Yeah. This one is the older version. I think it's the bigger one, right?
The oldest version is the TIR, the double lens reflex, the big one. I don't have. I have it, but not made in Singapore. Another model.
Rolleiflex, I can see. Yeah.
And then the world famous one.
35. Yeah.
35.
Yeah.
35S. The 35 is made in Germany, but 35S is made in Singapore.
You have a what is the thing in front? You don't need to take the paper, like you put down the paper. Yeah. What is the thing in front? You have a kind of
There is a lens hood. Lens hood
I see.
to protect protect sunlight.
Nice. How much did it cost? Do you remember?
I think now we can in the internet is around $500, $600.
When you bought it, how much was it?
Bought it a few $100 or so.
Okay, okay.
Two, 300.
Okay.
Now made in Singapore even better. I think if I would sell maybe $1,000, I would sell it because it's hard to get now.
But you are not going to sell it, right?
I'm selling my spares, whatever I have double I sell.
Okay.
This is another model. This is a 35 SE.
SE means what?
I don't know. Also something like electronic one with battery. You need battery.
Okay.
To work.
Okay. Yeah, it's okay.
To work the needle. I mean the meter. If no battery, still works. Still it can work. But if you want the meter, you have to put in the battery.
Okay.
SE.
Yeah.
And then there's one LED.
Okay. Yeah.
And then there are flashes also made by Rollei. Beta Rollei flash.
Okay.
Of course, there are many other things. And this is also, this is one of the Rollei flash sleeve or something. I collect made in Germany also, but we are talking about Singapore one, so I show you Singapore.
So you are also an avid photographer, yeah?
Photography, yes. I also collect cameras. Now I'm trying to sell them off already. I have so many hundreds of cameras.
Did your sisters ever talk about working in Rollei?
Not much. It's a routine work. Every day the same thing. Very monotonous.
Did they work there until it closed down?
Until it closed down.
Then afterwards they went to another factory.
Then after that they get married and they do other things.
Okay.
Get married and then become housewife.
Okay. Thanks a lot for sharing with us today, Mr. Yeo. I just want to ask you for the last question, right? What would you like to... You said earlier that you wrote the book on Kampong Chai Chee for the younger generation, right? What is it that you like to tell them about what the book tries to do and what you want to tell the younger generation about the past?
The two books I wrote is a record of our past years in Singapore where the Singaporeans work hard to become a Singapore what it is today. Singapore what it is today is not but wave a magic wand and say Singapore is flourished instantly. It has taken a long way to become what it is today. So the two books describe the very, very hard work by the pioneer generations. And also the two books describe the changes of the landscape in Singapore. Those days from kampong and then to the flats. And today to modern high-rise building, like the shopping malls and so on.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yeo, for sharing with us. I'm very happy to have learned so much about Kampong Chai Chee and a little bit more about Kampong Bedok Village. Thank you very much for sharing. Very nice to talk to you. And thank you so much also for writing your books. So again, if anyone wants...
my blog also.
Correct. Okay.
My blog.
Okay.
YeoHongEng.blogspot.com.
Okay. Can you also send me the link on WhatsApp?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Yeo. Have a good day.
Same to you.
Bye-bye. Bye.